Hello there, all you kitty cats, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have another makeup and mythology. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Scorpio. If you are new here or need a reminder, makeup and mythology is where I go into the mythology behind all the different zodiac signs and I do my makeup at the same time. All myths have different versions and variations. I've sourced my script from Mythology by Podcast on Spotify, as well as my own research. Today's video will be based off of Greco-Roman mythology. A warning for today's video does contain pornographic content, mention of death, and intoxication. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Near Libra, there is a bright constellation with a long tail ending in what looks like a stinger. This is Scorpio. Scorpio is Latin for scorpion. The sign Scorpio is for those born between October 23rd and November 23rd. If you're born between these times or know somebody born between these dates, they're Scorpio. So listen in, this will tell you about a lot of the Scorpios in your life. Now the scorpion of our story today is actually a monster much like that of the Nemean lion, if you remember from the Hercules story. The Nemean lion was also known as Leo. However, the monster of our story today was brought about for a much specific reason, more so than the Nemean lion was. The Nemean lion kind of existed, but it was given a reason. Scorpio was brought about for a reason. Some could say it was even a heroic purpose. The scorpion in our story today comes about at the end of a hero's journey. He was a hunter so strong that he could stand shoulder to shoulder with a goddess. Our story today starts off with Miss Artemis herself. Yes, we were talking about hunters. Yes, today's story starts off with Miss Artemis, goddess of the hunt. Artemis was hunting early in the morning. She had just left her home to come hunt early in the AM, preferably before everybody's awake, you know. She was like dawn, you know. It was said that Artemis slipped around the forest like a shadow. She was one with the forest that concealed her, a hunter of timeless patience and endless elegance. Period, Miss Arnie. They said that prey would never see her coming. She was just that good of a huntress. I mean, if you're goddess of the hunt, I would hope so, you know? Artemis had stopped in the forest to take a shot on a boar. This was a 1 in 1,000 chance shot. It was at this boar that was barely visible between like the gaps of the trees. But for her, this was just a warm up. She was like, this is light work. So she lined up that shot. For Miss Arnie, this was light work. She's like, this is just something to get the ball rolling, get the day started, you know? She drew her arrow, she lined up that shot, and she shot it. Only to see her arrow get knocked off course halfway to getting to its prey. Her arrow had been shot mid-air. What? So there was a second arrow that somebody else shot that threw her arrow off course. When she saw where this arrow came from, she said, one day I'll grow tired of you showing off Orion. So she already knew who it was. She was like, oh. From Hunger Games, this is giving me like Katniss and Gale. Just give me that. Very much that. This tall man stepped out of the forest, clutching his bow. He was tall with broad shoulders, you know, the Chad type. Yeah, definitely like the Chad type. This was Orion. Orion was the greatest of all the mortal hunters. For this segment, we're gonna do a little bit of a role play. So I'm gonna be playing both characters, so just bear with me a little. This side's gonna be Artemis, and this side's gonna be Orion. Okay, cool, okay, bear with me. Let me test my acting skills. Looks like someone woke up on the wrong side of the altar today. I didn't expect you to be up at all after last night. Once again, Artemis, you underestimate me. Or the girl you took to bed last night overestimated you. What was her name again? Philandra? Philianoe? Phil something. And I'm sure she had her fill of you. I left her sleeping after a long night. Okay, we don't need a detailed report. You know, that's Orion and his spear. Yeah, subtle. Okay, hopefully that relayed the type of relationship that goes on between them, because I feel like that dialogue was necessary, just so you know. I feel like it explains a lot about their relationship. Brother-sister vibes, I feel like. Orion then asks about Artemis's recruitment for her all-women hunting group, but she just tells him to butt out because it's none of your business and it doesn't concern you. She was like, I am not trying to get personal with you, Orion. Even though she kind of made some personal digs, but I don't know, I guess she likes to stay with her private little life or something. Orion's like, all right, then let's get on to hunting, shall we? Like, what are we gonna hunt today? Shall it be a beast, food, what should it be? Artemis says that instead of picking what they're going to hunt, how about she picks the tracks and he gets to tell her what they're hunting. Orion was very intrigued by this. He was like, a challenge. I'm down for that. Artemis's annoyance of Orion and her slight distaste for him slowly went away the more that they hunted together, you know, because you have to be able to work with the person you're working alongside. Orion was a braggart, but unlike most mortal men, he actually could back it up. But the most important thing to Artemis about Orion that allowed her to tolerate him was the fact that he had never come on to her. And she really appreciated this because, you know, it's just a little bit of respect. Like, if you're working with a male and he comes on to you, you don't feel like as much of like a coworker anymore, then it's like a whole situation, you know? So she was very glad that she didn't have to deal with any of that. Orion was actually one of Artemis's only male friends. She really only associated with females. So yeah, Orion was really one of her only male companions besides her brother, and then like she knew of her dad Zeus. But other than that, it really wasn't many males around Artemis. Artemis would never admit how much she actually favored Orion, but there really was nothing like hunting with someone that was on par with your skill level. I mean, I feel like that goes for everything. Like if you're working with someone on something and you're working like the same amount on the same skill level, like you two are gonna like be able to accomplish anything. But if you're working with someone where you have to like lead them or they have to lead you, you're gonna need like slowed down a little, especially when it comes to hunting where you need to be quick. That evening, Orion actually ended up roping Artemis into a party. I would not expect to see Miss Artie at a party. Hey. This party was full of some of the most celebrated youth in the town. So, you know, they were turned up, they were getting litty after a full day's hunt or whatever. Artemis wasn't really the party type, if you couldn't already tell. She's very much a hunter of solitude. So she was just kind of sitting at the edge of the party, at the edge of the crowd. She's just singling herself out of the party. So Artemis is sitting over here in the corner and she's thinking about how she'd rather be hunting. She's like, I have cooler things to do than this. I don't like doing parties. I'm different, I'm quirky. But she's thinking about how she'd rather be with her mother and the group of their followers than a lot of the drunken women at this party. She's not around a bunch of high thinkers. It's a bunch of intoxicated youngsters. Now Orion, this was his scene for sure. So Orion flocked to the crowd of drunken people like a king to his court. He told grand stories to all these people of the hunts that they had gone on throughout their day. Of course, he gave note to Artemis, but he definitely made himself the star of the show. Why wouldn't he, you know? There for one reason. That's for fame and maybe a little bit of attention too. So Orion's up in the midst of the crowd. You know, he's telling a story and he's kind of bragging about himself. He's Orion. Do you expect him not to? You know, like, Orion, the famous hunter? Oh my god, tell me your stories. So Orion's up there and he's like, there isn't a single beast that isn't a match for us. But Artemis is like, be careful with your statement there. You don't want to tempt the fates, you know how they can be. Orion dismisses her and he says, oh, I know how the fates can be. He says, they've done horrible things to me. I've paid for my passions plenty more than you could know. He said, girl, don't worry about me. I've been through it. Orion says that he will become the greatest hunter of all time, present company excluded. So he's like, not too much on you, Artemis, but like, I'm gonna be the greatest hunter. Artemis is like, dude, come on, what is there left to accomplish? You are already the greatest mortal hunter. You're better than any mortal. Like, don't you already have that title? But nay, Orion says, I want to do something that no hunter has ever done. He says, I want to find every being on this, like every animal on this earth, and hunt it and kill it. They'll say Orion was the best and last hunter of Greece. He said, nobody gonna live up to my legacy, you see. Artemis is like, whatever, you're drunk. He's like, no, Artemis, I'm just ambitious. Artemis is like, shake my head. Anyways, I'ma head out, yo. Literally everyone was drooling over Orion, and he's like, great tales of a hunter. You know, he was a showman. He had that showmanship. Literally all the boys wanted to be him and all the girls wanted to be with him. He just had it like that. He was Orion. He had it like that, for sure. Orion was loved, adored, and blessed. And he ate it all up. He ate it right up. He said, this for me, thank you. Artemis ended up leaving because Orion's comments kind of bothered her. Artemis realized that she really didn't know much about Orion. And these comments kind of bothered her because it made her wonder really what was lurking behind his charming exterior, you know? She wanted to believe that he was a good person underneath it all, but was there really a monster lurking behind his charming arrogance? She didn't have much experience with men other than her brother and little of what she knew of her experience with her dad, Zeus. How would she even be able to tell if she knew the difference between a good man and a bad one? She didn't know. She said, I know what my ladies are like, but I do not understand men. She said, I don't understand them. She didn't have much experience with them. I can understand why that would be hard as a woman. As a woman's woman, why it would be hard to understand a man. Artemis had decided to put the thought aside and just return to her mother in the forest. She was the goddess of the hunt, not the hunters. Her friend was nothing but a distraction at this point, and she needed to get over it. So weeks later, Artemis ended up hunting in the same forest outside of Orion's town. It was supposed to be a peaceful hunt. It was supposed to be a hunt alone. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she hears a deadly scream. Now, she knows a woman in distress when she hears one. And when she heard this scream, she made sure to make her way towards it with her bow drawn. Arrow drawn and everything. She said, I'm ready to go. Let me find out. I feel like Artemis is kind of serving women loving women vibes. Just saying, happy Pride Month. Artemis was absolutely ready to make whatever was making this woman scream. She was ready to make it regret ever coming near that woman. Artemis made her way towards the clearing and she saw a woman limping towards the tree line. So there's a clearing and there's a woman limping towards the tree line trying to get out of the area that says visible. Then Artemis actually realizes she recognizes this woman. This woman was one of her followers of her little hunter troop. So she's like, no freaking way. Are you kidding me? I'm definitely gonna save you from this situation, shawty. But how'd you get in it? And so she realizes that her friend here was not in her normal like hunter clothes. In fact, she was actually in like a torn tunic, the kind you would wear to like a city gathering. A tunic is like, think like Legend of Zelda, Link is like a little green shirt. It's like kind of a dress, but it's kind of a shirt. Like very medieval vibes. Yeah, that's a tunic. So her friend's tunic, it's torn. It's like, what's going on? Who's trying to tear your clothes off, shawty, while you scream bloody murder? What's going on here? Artemis then turned to see who was chasing the woman. Do we have any guesses as to who could be chasing after this woman trying to get under her clothes? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Mr. Orion. He's in deep shit. Oh, fuck. Orion comes up to the woman and he's like, come on, baby. Why you screaming? It's just you, me, in the moonlight. Nobody else out here to even hear your screams. So maybe just like, don't scream so loud. Maybe let's pipe it. He was like, oh, it's just us under the moonlight and it's so romantic out here. No? Like, was just like, chill out, babe. He was trying to be a smooth talker self, I guess. Once Orion makes his presence known, he kind of messes up here. So he says like, oh baby, it's just you, me, and the romantic moonlight. Artemis pops out of nowhere. She says, well bitch, guess who's the goddess of the motherfucking moon? Surprise, motherfucker. Artemis jumps out of nowhere and she shoots an arrow through Orion's thigh, through his leg. She attacked him before he could even look up to see her. Shake my head. She said, goddess of the hunt, and I'm hunting you now today. She said, get your morning coffee because we rolling. The woman who was trying to escape ended up escaping, and now Orion was the one screaming. Kind of got what you had coming, buddy, didn't ya? We love to see it. We love to see it. It's been a minute, huh? Hasn't it, Artemis? Like, hello to you too. Damn. Yeah, it's been too long. I see you've forgotten yourself. Like, where do your morals lie, Orion? Hit after hit. Hit after hit. Look, I can explain the whole thing. It's not what it looks like. I don't want to hear it. She said, my followers are not for your conquest. I don't know what you thought you were doing here, but it's not cute. It's not cute. Predatory behavior is not cute. Orion's pulling this whole like, oh come on, like it's not that big of a deal. There's nothing like chasing something forbidden. You of all people as a hunter should know that. Like that conquest is exciting. It's like, come on Artie, this isn't you. Like I know you, this isn't you. Like shut up Orion. You're just trying to save your ass. Fucked it up for yourself. You had one job, Orion, don't fuck with Artemis's troops, and you fucked with them. So he's like, look Artemis, I know you, this isn't you. Like, you know what it's like to want to chase something that's forbidden. And she's like, no, she's not having it. She's like, no, you don't know me, and I don't know you, apparently. Not anymore. We don't know each other. It's like, we know each other better than anyone. We hunt with each other. You know, they trust each other with their life if they hunt together. Okay. If that's the way you see it, we're hunters, right? Let me give you another challenge. We're hunters together. Let's give you another little challenge like we did in the old days, right? Whoa. You just injured my leg. Don't give me a challenge right now because I need time to recover. I'm not doing too hot right now. I'm kind of bleeding out my leg. Fine, we'll let your leg recover. You know, we don't have to do it right now. But in the meantime, while Orion recovers, she's going to whip up one of the nastiest, cruelest, and vicious monsters she can for him. And he's gonna hunt it. You know, she's giving him a little punishment. She wants him to fight this monster and then he can say how great of a hunter he is or blah blah blah, whatever. Artemis felt sick to her stomach because of this whole situation. You know, it was her job to protect these girls that were in her troop, and she had led a predator straight to them. She felt terrible. There's no forgiving Orion for this kind of behavior. He had to be punished. So she would work to create the best monster she could that even he would have difficulty slaying. Orion did not take much time to heal. You see, he knew that he would win back Artemis's favor regardless. Yes, she was a goddess, but she was also still a woman, and he believed women to be very fickle. He knew that over time that she would grow to see that what he had done wasn't anything worse than what her brother had done in the name of passion. In the meantime, Orion knew that he was going to defeat the monster that Artemis had created for him because he was the best hunter. He couldn't be beat. He was like, there's nothing that can beat me. He just knew he was gonna beat this. Stay tuned anyways. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry I had to do some makeup off camera because I didn't time this out right. So anyways, let's get back into the story, shall we? Back to Orion. So when Orion actually arrived to the cave, he didn't find any monster there waiting for him. Nay. Instead, what he found was just a fair maiden in the middle of the cave, standing in the middle of the cave with nothing on but a sheer garment. Come on, Orion. I hope you realize the trap you've been set into. Come on. I mean, he's literally in trouble for going after maidens he shouldn't be going after. When he enters the cave, he asks this woman if she knows what beast he's supposed to be fighting there. He's like, oh, hey, Shawty, you're fine and all, but I was actually supposed to fight a beast here, so like, let me take care of this joint and then we can see what's about it. Are you the hunter that said he could beat the most fearsome of beasts? I mean, yeah, that's me or whatever, but who are you? I am Scorpio. And then she takes off her little sheer garment and she's just, frankly, a distraction for him. So he continues to look around the cave, right? He's like, yeah, anyway, Shawty, we're gonna worry about that after I kill the beast. So he keeps looking all around him in the cave for this monster he's apparently supposed to be fighting. But in the midst of that, she is reaching out towards him and she's about to grab his shoulders. Orion he fell right into this one. Well, I don't have anything more to say. So he asks this woman, he's like, okay, where the fuck is this monster? Or he kind of just says it out loud, maybe, I don't know if he's asking her or not. Where is the monster that I was brought here to be fighting? Oh my poor sweet Orion. I am the monster. Big shocker, I feel like we were all seeing that coming. I mean, I kind of spoiled it, but I feel like I needed y'all to know, like, Orion, be smarter than this. Be smarter than this. She grabs him by the shoulders, and as she reaches into him, her gentle hands become black pincers. Then a tail rises up from behind her, and her body then collapses into that of a scorpion's body. Okay, I'm so sorry. It's been so hard for me to do this makeup look and talk at the same time. It's just been so hard, so I just did it, and we're not fully done yet, but I need to get back into the story. So when she reaches out to grab Orion, her gentle hands turn into black pincers, and a tail rises up from behind her, and her body collapses into a scorpion body. She now had him in her clutches because she was an enormous scorpion and he had walked in to the arms of the enemy. He ended up breaking loose from the claws, and he then tried to gain distance between himself and the enemy, which was now a giant arachnid. He turned around to see Artemis at the front of the cave with a very cold grin on her face. She was just like, my plan is working perfectly. Orion was very determined to defeat the enemy before him and win over Artemis again, win her trust, you know? He managed to block the stinger every single time it came towards him, but by the fourth time, he kept his eye off the claws, and he was only worried about the stinger. The claws came down and grabbed Orion, and she was finally able to sting him one more time, injecting him with venom. His scream here was so loud it could be heard throughout the other part of the town that they were in. The stinger had come down for the last time, and this time without missing its target. Orion was sitting on the ground, writhing in pain and twitching because of the venom. The scorpion immediately lunged at the fallen hero, ready to tear him limb from limb, but Artemis called it off. She says, "You have done enough. This predator will never hunt again." Artemis stayed there and watched as his movement slowed and the light left from his eyes. Then she turned and left the cave to continue her day's hunt alone. Orion is one of the clearest constellations in the sky, with the key part of his stars being his belt. You may be familiar with Orion's belt. However, Orion is not one of the zodiac signs. That role is reserved for the monster that defeated him. While Virgos are intelligent in processing, Scorpios take similar intelligence for strategy. Their symbol is a scorpion, a creature whose danger isn't in its pincers but in its tail. Poised to strike at the right moment, Scorpios are known for being goal-oriented, confident, and focused. They know what they want and they go after it without hesitation. In today's story, Scorpio is more like Artemis than that of Orion, although I feel like it can kind of be said about both. I've heard both. Artemis knew what she wanted more than anyone in the Greek universe, and she didn't allow anybody into her way. But you see, Artemis isn't the epitome of a Scorpio because Scorpios are known as our most sexual sign. See, and since Scorpio is such a sexual sign, this is why I think it could be said about Orion. I feel like they both play into the story of Scorpio. See, Artemis was not very sexual, but Orion was on the other hand. Artemis was not the epitome of a Scorpio because Artemis was actually in some forms known as the goddess of chastity, or thought to be asexual by some. But there's also queer theories too. I think she was just a woman-loving woman. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I think personally. She had no romantic partners, but the only exception could be said was for Orion, who actually in some versions of this story and mythology, Orion like confesses his love to her like right before he dies. But I feel like she wouldn't love him back even if he did love her. Ooh, love story drama. Scorpios are often associated with the need for closeness or intimacy, which I think can be seen in both Artemis and Orion. And on top of their nature as chess masters, which I feel like Artemis and Orion were chess masters in their own ways, in their own worlds. And with that, we are done with the story of Scorpio. Okay, can I finally say my opinion? I personally don't really like Scorpios that much. Scorpio women are pretty good, but I can fuck with them because they're baddies. Scorpio men, I just have trauma from, to be honest. To be honest with you, I hope you enjoyed the makeup look. This has probably been one of my favorite makeup looks to do, to be honest. With the scorpion, this has been so fun to do. It was such a challenge and it was so hard to film on camera, but it was a lot of fun. And I really like how it came out, and I really like this gradient that I worked so hard on. So I didn't have a lavender eyeshadow, so I kind of tried to make lavender. It worked, but it didn't work. But then it looked like something really cool, so that's what it is. And also all this very intricate line work. Obviously, y'all know me. I cannot talk whenever I am working on my mouth. And I know some of you guys have been saying that I kind of skip around in the makeup. I know you want to see more of the makeup, but I didn't pace myself well, and I'm sorry, I'm learning. I mean, maybe one day I'll just refilm all of these. I wouldn't be opposed to it. It was a lot of fun. I hope all of you guys have a great week. I hope you enjoyed the story of Scorpio a lot. I hope you found this to be entertaining or educational. I hope all of you guys have a lovely week. Be sure to comment down below what you thought of today's story. Leave me a like, please, please, please. It helps so much. And with that, I'm gonna say goodbye, guys. Peace out. I love you so much. I love you so much. Big